Would you like to be on Hillbilly Broadcast? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? If you find yourself in that category of people, please feel free to go to anchor.fm/PhilSparks and send us a voice message, and we will play it on the show. You say, I'm more of an email guy or gal. Don't worry, we got you covered. Send an email to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com. You say, I don't like either of those options. I'm a Facebook-only individual. That's fine. Look us up on Facebook at Hillbilly Broadcast and send us something on Messenger. Well, you ask, Phil, what if I want to go the extra mile and I want to support you all? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because that is very, very easy. Go back to the first website I told you about, anchor.fm/PhilSparks, and you can support us on a monthly basis if you so choose. We love our audience, we love audience interaction, and we will read your messages or play them on the air.
Get ready, set, go.
Yeah, you do it in your mic because yours sounds better than mine.
Huh?
Oh, is this thing on?
Yeah! It distorts.
I can never get enough volume.
Oh my gosh.
His mic sounds better for us than mine.
It'll distort.
It'll distort just a little bit. It's Hillbilly Broadcast again. I just killed that way too quick, didn't I? Let's take her down.
You did.
Nice and easy. Just like that.
Oh,
take
like
her down
baby's, just like a
Love
baby's
me.
bottom.
All night long.
Sweet love.
Normal crew again.
Yes.
John, Missy, Kane, and Mariah, and myself.
No. That's not right.
No.
Try again.
So we have the we have the redheaded wonder.
Woo!
My brother's wife, Missy.
Yes.
We have the man that looks like he ate Scott Grover, my brother. Thank you, please.
Oh, man.
We have in Indiana the Honorable H.C. Heskett.
Homeless Canaan.
Hey, give it up for him. Give it up. Yeah. Throw him some dollar bills.
He needs them.
I can use some.
He's broke as a joke.
And if angels drove cars, she'd still be mad. It is the Queen of Road Rage, Mariah Heskett. That still cracks me up a little bit.
And you are?
I am the fireman. Yes, that's my name.
Thank you, George Strait.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, man. So what's up,
these
guys?
introductions
right.
I know. Like, you cannot not do it anymore. Yeah, that's what I
thought. I see this one being a little bit of a laid-back episode.
I like it.
Yes.
I don't know about
please.
y'all, but this has been one crazy stressful weekend. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yes.
So we started off, I took off Thursday and Friday to go to the Pickett and Parsons Bluegrass Festival.
Yeah, that was great.
Parsons, West Virginia. I enjoyed myself. I don't know that I would take a full 2 days to go do it next year. I'm being facetious. What I do like about it was the jam session.
Wait. That was a big word, brother.
It was big. I do not know what it means, but I know people put it in areas like that.
Yeah.
It is being used as
word.
such.
So they had, they had all these big bluegrass bands, of which I like bluegrass occasionally.
Right.
Nothing insane. So they've had this festival for years, just about 45 minutes from my house, something like that. I thought I might as well go up. And there was a lady that Missy works with that was very nice to give us a ticket.
Her husband died with cancer, and so she had a ticket, and she said, would your husband like to go to that? And I said, oh, yeah, he's been talking about it. And she said, I'll give it to you in a couple of months whenever they start. And so she called me over last week, and she said, I have this ticket for you. She said, I want your husband to enjoy it because I'm glad it can be used by someone who enjoys music as much as her husband did. So I was very thankful for that.
Well,
So her husband didn't make it then.
Right.
No, he didn't. It was an enjoyable festival.
We're going to turn it into a sad, sappy story at the beginning.
I
Wait a minute. Is he playing bluegrass up there in heaven?
He is on them golden streets.
So yeah, we went to the Bluegrass Festival, and it was enjoyable. I'm not a the festival goes Tuesday through Saturday. I think sitting from Tuesday until Saturday hearing nothing but bluegrass.
Oh my goodness!
Would cause me to kill
I would
myself.
blow my brains out.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
To
like
be
it small
honest,
doses.
yes. To be honest, there's a few groups that we saw that were so. I was not a fan before, but Phil was. So Seldom Seen was one we saw.
Seldom Seen was really good.
The harmony was like mwah, beautiful. Loved that one. And then Balsam Range.
I just tried to get him to crack up.
Him over there.
You better not be making fun. Okay, and then Balsam Range we saw
Balsam Range was really good. They
Which-
sound like Diamond Rio if they were
in Bluegrass.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
it
dude,
was
that's awesome.
absolutely wonderful.
And I added a new signature to my Martin guitar.
Yes, who was it?
Did you?
Caleb Smith,
From Balsam Range.
guitar player for Balsam Range. Yeah.
Yes, he's the one that
Nice.
he's one that sings lead of "If You Don't Know Where You're Going."
And I
Any road
encourage
will take you
anybody,
there. Yes.
if you're not a bluegrass fan,
Check him out.
Balsam Range would be the one if you wanted to dip your toes into bluegrass.
Yep.
Check out Balsam Range there.
Without feeling you're gonna have a nervous breakdown because it's just so like constantly. You feel like your nerves are on edge. These guys are perfect.
When we were talking to the mandolin player after the show, and he said, we try to do music for people that don't particularly care for bluegrass. We try to
Which
bring in new
is so
fans.
smart because they're reaching out to a broader community
Yes.
instead of having just like one target audience. You reach out to everybody, so that's very smart.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Now I'll say
Now,
this.
I've heard that.
Go ahead, Game.
No, I was just going to say. Now I've heard that bluegrass fans are extremely loyal. What
Yes.
did they say about that?
How's your loyalty, Phil?
Well, no, like they say that they're extremely loyal. So, like, if people start trying to teeter around with too much, they'll end up shunning them. Is that kind of the case?
Tell him
or
what the
not?
bluegrass guy said.
Well, I'll say this. I have met some people that are hardcore bluegrass fans over the years that can be
Snobbish.
snobby about it.
Yep. Oh, it's true.
Bluegrass
That's a
is
good way of putting it.
the only music, and there's even people that's worse than that will say, like they don't want a dobro in bluegrass music because Bill Monroe didn't have a dobro in his band, and Bill Monroe
Oh, my.
is the standard by which all bluegrass groups are measured.
No matter who played back in the 40s.
I even heard some guys up there, and they were joking, but it's like that snarky type of joking, like, hey, we don't play Taylor guitars up here; it's all Martins.
Ew.
Yeah.
Dude, why don't you kiss
That
my hind end?
I actually heard a
I have
guy
one of
say
each.
that. We went to a jam afterwards. We didn't get home till 3:00 this morning, and this one guy was like, "Oh yeah, we don't have Taylor guitars. We have Martin guitars." And I was like, "If it's a
Ew, I
guitar,
don't like that
play it."
negativity.
The negativity was real. It was
Oh, yeah,
awful.
I don't like that.
They
I
can
guess
get-
they wouldn't like my urban, would they?
Well,
Play urban.
yeah, a little bit urban doesn't hurt nobody.
So but the funnest part was.
I fucked that.
The funnest part was the jam sessions after
Yes,
the concerts.
agreed.
The whole place just busts out into one big jam session, and goes from Thursday night when I was there. I started walking around, carrying my guitar. You just walk up and down this campsite. It almost reminds you of like Clinton Camp or something, Kanan.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so you just got everybody just jamming, carrying on. You know, it's late summer, so it's in the evening. You know, you can hear people's generators running for their campers and everything, and it gives you that same general feeling. But
That's pretty cool.
so excuse me, man, I'm belching like a fool. So you just start walking around trying to find somebody to jam with. So I found a group. I played there from like 11:30 till probably 12:30, and then was headed back to my camp and heard some other guys playing and wound up playing there until 3:30 in the morning. So
Did you camp there?
camping is a very harsh word. If you
Did you
consider
stay the night there?
if you consider sleeping in the pickup truck camping, yes, we did.
Well, that's what you do when we go camping anyways.
Yes.
Just about.
Yeah, because he's like,
That's pretty-
it's too cold on my little buns. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna get in the truck.
Yeah.
His little buns.
Exactly.
My
I
little
never
bun.
knew Phil's buns to be little.
So we had a good time. Now the group I wound up with on Thursday night, were we're freaking drunker than skunks. Dude.
Oh my gosh, tell
No
them about
way.
that. Tell them.
Oh, it was so much fun. There was probably like 20 of us sitting around, and there was 3 of us. I would estimate 3 of us that hadn't been drinking, and everybody else was smashed.
Oh,
Tell them what they said about you being Amish.
Yeah, I stepped up there to play because this group that was jamming, they didn't have a guitar player. Were 2 of us that were playing guitars. We come up at the same time, and this guy, I had my brown cowboy hat on, got this big beard and everything. So come time for a guitar break, so I took into a guitar break, and this guy's all drunk, and he's right up next to me. He's like, "Man, he looks like he's Amish, but he can play the guitar." And then he comes
that's
over to
funny.
me later with his cigarette and beer breath, gets right up in my face like, "I was just messing with you."
Oh, man. Oh,
Dude, you
dude.
attract the drunks at those festivals.
But it's
some reason I
okay.
do.
Yeah, it seems to be the truth, honestly.
It's okay.
So funny.
Just have fun.
Nothing wrong with it.
Kanan, didn't you get in a concert? Wasn't it a Keith Urban concert where you kind of got stuck in the drunk section?
Oh, absolutely. I had him fall. I had this one guy. He was a heavy guy. He kept falling back into me, so I had to keep catching him.
Oh.
And then his wife would be like, "I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It won't happen again." Then 5 minutes later, he's stumbling back and falling. I'm catching him underneath the armpits, trying to keep him held up. Oh, dude, it was hilarious. Oh my.
I've been in the drunk section a couple times at concerts. The Brad Paisley show,
It's
we
actually-
had nosebleed
It's more
seats.
fun.
I hated that
It is
concert.
fun. It's a blast.
It was
It is
not
actually a lot of
good.
fun.
The Brad Paisley show, one of the guys was passed out before Paisley ever got on the stage.
He was snoring
Wow.
away. And when Brad Paisley came out, his buddy was elbowing him, and he just goes flying out of his chair. And we're like, all right, man.
Dude, I
Now
think
he's out.
now if they start getting mad or angry, or swinging fists, then I'm like, okay, this is no longer fun.
Oh,
but
yeah.
up until then, man, they are a blast because they're just funny to watch.
Well, the thing of
They're
it
all fun
was,
to
though,
watch.
we were so high in the nosebleeds. Like, it was bad. So high.
I didn't
Brad
mind it. I
Paisley
don't mind
looked
it at
like an ant
Sexiest thing I ever seen.
that had anorexia or something.
Dude, you remember watching Miranda Lambert in Columbus, Ohio, and she
Yes.
come out and she was drunk.
Well, I remember she.
The poor thing.
Or she was at least maybe tipsy, maybe not slammed. She wasn't slammed.
She was
obviously,
struggling.
but
Like, you could tell
She was
mentally she
struggling.
was struggling
There was
with
something
the
going on.
Yeah.
divorce
Her
she was
eyes
going
looked
through.
odd.
Yes.
But yes, absolutely. And another thing too is, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was right after her and Blake actually.
It was.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
It was. But
Well, I tell
let's
you, we was at that Rascal Flatts concert, and them 2 drunks snuck down in our row. We was the 4th row back,
I remember that.
and them 2 snuck down there, and they're
Almost.
trying to hug all over each other and all that stuff. And the dude, his beer is like at a 45-degree angle right over my shoulder. I told Mom.
Oh yeah, dude.
No.
I told Mom, I'm like, hey, just so you know, I may get thrown out of here in a minute. If he pours that beer down my collar, there's going to be a fist fight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It wasn't long.
Absolutely.
It wasn't long. Security come and drug him out. Like it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah.
I'll stick that beer straight up his.
Yeah, for real, dude. That's crazy, man.
you have either one
uh,
side or the other side. Like, when it comes to people at concerts, they're either like gun ho, like bad drunk, and then there's the fun drunks that you don't mind. Like that one went to Def Leppard concert, and they had that woman that grabbed me.
The woman right in front of us?
No,
Oh.
she was behind us and to the side. I was coming back up the aisle after going to go get some drinks,
Yes.
and it was the lesbian lady, and she grabbed onto me, and Phil went, "You know that was a woman, right?" And I went, "What? Do you remember this?"
I don't know about her grabbing you, but I remember her.
Yeah, we were
I
starting. She
remember-
danced with me in the aisle.
You know, that was like 5 years ago, like just a couple days ago.
That's hard to believe.
Just a
5
couple
years?
just a couple of years
Really?
ago.
2016.
So,
so
well, dude, I
sad.
remember the 5 drunk ladies that sit in front of us, and they kept dancing and like kind of like looking back at us and
Yeah.
smiling. and
Yeah,
stuff, but-
Mariah was not feeling that at all. You were so ticked
Yeah.
at them.
Yes. Probably because they would dance and then like look back at me. You know.
And he wonders why I want him to wear rings.
Uh-huh.
They were 45 years old. There's no danger in that. Now, if they were 30, okay.
Do you remember we went to the bull ride? We went to the bull ride,
ride.
and those women were sitting in front of you and Phil. I think it was Keenan.
Oh.
Yeah, and they kept looking back at you guys.
That one gal was drunk, kept looking back at the three of us.
Oh, it's
Young
awful.
girl.
It was-
Yeah.
I
I'm
Not looking at
convinced.
me.
So people were
I carried
desperate.
her out of there.
She wasn't that good looking. Don't worry about it. Seriously.
Well, she was a young thing, and I'm convinced she had a sugar daddy there with what
Yes.
was going on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember who you're talking about now. Yes, I remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if I remember right, Kanan and her walked out to the restroom about the same time. I had no idea. So, anyways, yeah, we did enjoy ourselves, didn't we?
Oh, it was great.
I met a lot of new people.
Yes, and like the next year, they're like, "You might make sure you bring your baby whenever you come," because I told her that I just finished school and we were working on a kid. She said, "Oh, that would be so wonderful." I said, "Can you imagine him dancing to bluegrass music?" And I'm like, "Oh Lord, Jesus,
my-
save me!"
Oh.
That just doesn't sound cool at all.
No,
No.
they need to be
Like,
dancing.
I like some bluegrass, but come on, guys. Like, you know.
I go in spurts with it, and I'm telling you, after this week, I am done with it for a while. Like I'm full.
He
I'm
said,
full
I'm
of it.
done.
No, you're not. You're playing Virginia Blue by Larry Sparks
Larry
over and
Sparks
over
is
and over.
different.
See, no, there's certain bluegrass he goes crazy over.
Now the bass player for Balsam Range, he was talking about. Didn't he say his mom? His
Yes.
mom and his dad were at a bluegrass festival one time. He said He said we were in like day 5 of a 6-day bluegrass festival, and he said,
Oh, wow.
He said my
No.
mom turned to my dad and she said, "If I hear one more banjo, I'm going to kill somebody."
That would be me.
He said.
That would be me after day 2.
He
Yes.
said,
Oh, man.
he said, and God rest his soul, she meant it.
Oh my goodness.
They were
That's
good.
hilarious.
They were good. I would go back to see Seldom Seen and Balsam Range. Well, how much was
I
it?
want to look these guys up. I like to hear them.
They were good. Look up Balsam Range if you don't know where you're going. That
Yep.
song is so
Okay.
good. Or Blue Mountain was great. And what was the other one?
They had several ones. Their songwriters are very good. Like they could be
Yes.
country songwriters.
Yes.
On Saturday, we had the show that we've been plugging for 2 months?
Yes. Like Lurch
Yeah.
Fest.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yes.
how'd that go?
Yeah, how did
Oh
That
my gosh,
was-
guys.
A lot of fun. That was a ball.
That's awesome.
We actually had a stage. They mic'd us all up. We were set, man. We
You're official.
we were official.
Yes.
It was fun.
That's awesome.
Now I got stinking retardedly nervous.
He did. He locked up like halfway through the show. Jonathan was just like, hey, say something. Do something.
I didn't really lock up. I was very
You-
tense up there.
You
Very
were
tense.
shaking. You were shaking. I saw you.
It'd been too long since you've been on stage.
It
Well, the
was.
last time we played in public was out there at Arnett's gig,
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot about that.
which
Yeah.
has been almost 2 years
That
ago.
was- Yeah, it has. That was actually a lot of fun too. That's awesome.
And we've
That's
already got more gigs lined up because
Yes.
of that one.
Yes.
awesome. No
The-
way.
Yeah, the mayor of Philippi said we want you guys to come play at. They're going to have concerts at the courthouse square. They want us to come there.
Nice.
And there was also somebody wanting us to
Yes,
play at a
Ashley.
wedding, but I think we got a schedule conflict.
I think we do
I
too.
don't think we're gonna be able to play yet.
It's on your birthday weekend. So, but she wanted us to come out and sing at her reception, which was so nice of her.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
we were so thankful, and I was like, oh well, I guess we got something else going on, but you know, I have to let her know.
It was fun though. We had a ball.
Yes.
Everything went
That's
fairly
cool.
smoothly, other than I started to do a guitar break in T for Texas, and pretty much just went into a coma.
Oh, dude.
Oh, I screwed it up so
Dude.
bad.
Guitar.
We didn't have the second guitar, Kanan, so it is so much harder when you don't have another guitar player because you're trying to keep the rhythm going and do lead,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's hard. That's hard. So,
Well, I can do some good rhythm as long as I'm awake.
The problem is you're out in Indiana, and if we're doing this once a week, we can't really do that.
well, we'll see
Well,
about this. Maybe this deal with the courthouse, Kana. Maybe it's something you could.
What's the date? I could have done this one if it wasn't for Stupid Turn. That's the only thing.
Oh,
I have
I understand that. Yeah.
I have no problem driving down there for gigs. It was literally just the Stupid Turn. I was actually working on a house yesterday. But what's the date of the one at the courthourthouse there?
We
Or
haven't
the
been,
time.
we haven't been contacted with it yet. He just wanted to make sure that
We were available
somebody had our
and we could do
contact
that.
information. So
Yeah.
they're supposed
Okay,
to be getting
okay,
hold
cool.
of us.
Yeah.
Well, just let me know, man, because I'll tell you, I love doing that stuff. That is amazing.
Oh, it was
I
fun.
love
It
We
was
had
so
we
fun.
had a flat out ball. Now my fingers, after playing, like I said, all that time at the Bluegrass Festival, and then me and John practiced for like 4 hours earlier this week, right, Jonathan?
On Wednesday night, we played for 4 hours.
Yeah. So
Aw.
I was hitting an A chord towards the end of the set at Lurch Fest, and my pinky went limp.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
was just about.
Yeah.
It was.
Well, I remember
getting
when we
sore.
were practicing for out here, dude. I mean, man, my fingers, we were putting super glue on them just to try to harden them up.
We did the same thing for this one. Yep. And it
Yeah,
works
I mean, I'll tell you-
fantastically.
That's
it,
awesome.
It actually does a pretty good job. It really does.
Now, the reason why I ended up with another blister is because I wore the super glue off. I didn't get to dry and stick real good before I played down there.
Aw.
I wore the super
Yeah.
glue off and wore a second blister on my finger.
You wore it off during
Oh,
the set?
dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Wow.
It was a
I
blast.
tell you what, this set, I felt like I had a lot more work I did on that bass than I did in Indiana. Because
Yeah.
we just put a lot more work into the, changing up some of the beats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well-
we had a few
Yeah.
new songs. We mostly did songs, Kanan, that you did with us in the set, but we added a few.
Yeah.
And we had to cut it
Okay.
down. We only had to fill an hour, so we wound up only doing 17. Also, shout out to Zach Ramsey. Was that
Yes.
his name?
He was good.
This guy come in there. He played right after us, and the old boy's got one heck of a voice.
He does.
Oh man, he's got a.
He does.
Wow.
He's very.
Luke Holmesy.
Yeah, he sung some Luke Combs, but he could do like some harder rock, like Nickelback style or something like that. He could just tear it up. He's got that
Oh,
kind of a
nice.
voice.
He said it was his
That's
first time
pretty
in
cool.
2 years too.
Yeah, so we're supposed to get with him, do a little recording, do a little songwriting, stuff like
I'm
that.
excited to see it.
That's awesome.
So what about you, Ken? What did you guys get into over the weekend?
This weekend, man, dude, not near as interesting as you alls. I basically was on call Saturday, so I had a couple emergency calls come in, so I had to run those, and then, like I said, I was trying to get a turn done. I was trying to get this house done because there's quite a bit. There's not quite a bit to do there, but there was a ceiling that needed textured, and I was a little worried about that one holding me up, and I was like, man, I don't want that to end up biting me in the butt come Friday.
So what happens
You know.
with you guys during turn? Explain it. So you do maintenance on rental
So-
properties, and what's the turnover?
Yeah, so turnover is when a tenant will move out, and then we have about 4 days to get that house back and livable for the next set of tenants.
4 days.
And
So-
this is on.
yeah,
and
4 to
this is
5
on,
days.
Like about 300 properties.
Yeah, 300 properties. So they give us lists. So I've already done, I think I calculated, I think I've already done 10, and I've got like another
Probably about
9 or 10 to go.
to go.
So
Holy
each
cow.
maintenance guy have about 20 houses due, and so I have to go in, I have to check smoke detectors, change out blinds. I have to, if there's paint that needs to be done, I'll do paint. Yesterday, like I said, I had to actually texture a ceiling, put in new light fixtures.
Any new
If there's
filters?
holes in the walls, I got to go and I got to actually drywall patch those holes, paint them. I mean, sometimes they can get into a lot. There's actually there's a guy that I work with that he went into a turn, and the subfloor in the bathroom was rotted out. So he's in there ripping out the toilet, the sink, the tub, everything to put down new subfloor. And you only have, 3-4 days to do this. So, dude, he was literally there till 1-2 o'clock in the morning trying to wrap that up.
Oh
That
my
way,
That's crazy.
I remember when me and John Hopkins actually first started, we were actually out mowing, and it was like at 11 o'clock in the a.m. we were mowing, and they called us in. They was like, hey, we know you guys don't have a ton of experience yet on maintenance, but could you come and help us on this one house? They said, we have to have it done by 8 o'clock the next morning. This was on a Monday. Has to be done by 8 o'clock Tuesday morning because they're moving in, 8 o'clock Tuesday. So me and John's like, okay, yeah, we'll do our best. We go in and start painting this house. We literally we started on that house at about 11 o'clock that morning, and we didn't get out of that house till about 6 o'clock the next morning, Tuesday morning.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Worked on it all night, dude. We were like zombies walking out of the house, and then we ended up coming back in
At like 10.
at 10 or 11 the next morning on Wednesday and started working again.
Holy cow.
Like I remember
Yeah.
you were doing that a lot. Was it last year or the year before? And you would call Phil and be like, "Hey, can you talk to me? I'm driving and I need someone to talk to me and keep me awake." And I remember you
Yes,
doing that.
That was last year because I'd be getting in it. I'd be leaving the job at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And tired. Yeah.
Oh
Let me
my
tell you
gosh.
something.
It's crazy.
That's rough when you're trying to drive.
Mhm.
Didn't you,
Oh my.
John? You used to work for a ambulance transport service, right?
Oh my goodness!
And you'd
yes.
have to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I would work. It's supposed to be 12-hour shifts. I'd go in at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then just take people back home. Like
Mm-hmm.
basically people they kind of put out of the hospital to die, kind of thing. And I was there was
depressing.
yeah, it was. It was the worst job I ever worked. Even worse than Burger King.
Was it? You think it was actually worse than
I
that?
made better money than I did at Burger King, but it was a worse job. The management was worse than Burger King management.
Ugh.
But I was back at the Clarksburg exit on 79 at 7:30. I was supposed to get off work at 8, so I was headed back to. You might want to take that out there.
I'll believe you.
I was headed back there, and it was going to take me about a half hour to get back to the station.
Mm-hmm.
They called like, "Hey, we got another transport for you," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I had to turn around, drive all the way back up to Morgantown, and pick a patient up. So by the time I got them loaded in the ambulance, it was like pushing 10 o'clock. And then had to drive all the way to Logan County, West Virginia, which is on the West Virginia-Kentucky border.
That's
So
down
I
there.
literally drove across the entire state of West Virginia, and I got down there
Oh,
at
my
like
word.
1:30 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then had to drive all the way back to the station and get my truck, and then drive an hour back home.
See, there are things I
Oh,
can do
word.
when I'm tired. I can force myself to stay awake. Like if we're sitting having a conversation, like Kanan, when you and Mariah, when you guys come here, we usually stay up till sometimes 3 in the morning,
Super
right?
late. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we've
yeah.
done it.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and I can power through that and enjoy it. But
Yes.
driving,
Yes, I can too.
I can't do that.
Dude, it puts me to sleep.
Can't do it.
Yeah, and you're just
Yep.
you're driving like, it'll be okay if I just close my eyes for just a minute.
Yeah.
You wake up, there's a small
Yeah.
child wrapped around the grill.
Oh no. Like you
I think
hallucinate too. Whenever you're exhausted, you'll like
I have
pull over. You've been like
hallucinated before, yeah.
hallucinating and thinking you're seeing stuff, and it's not actually there. Which
It
makes
actually
you,
happened to me. I remember Dad talking about hallucinating, being so tired.
Yep.
I thought, man, and then it started. It did happen to me. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
I'm really tired whenever like I don't remember the last couple of minutes. Like I'll drive, I'm so focused, but like there's
Yeah.
nothing. Like what happened the last 2 minutes, I don't remember. So it really
Yes.
scares me, and I'm like, I'm pulling over and I'm gonna go to the bathroom and I'm getting an energy drink because there is no continuing like this.
Yep.
The most tired I have ever been driving was actually when I was working at Webster County EMS. And that was a decent job, but we were a long ways from any decent hospitals. And there I was up for 38 hours straight. That
Oh
was the
my
most tired I've
gosh.
ever been.
Ugh.
Wow.
And
I
I
can only
drove to Morgantown for the last time, and I was coming back, and I would literally be like stomping my feet and would smack my face till it was red, trying to stay
Yeah.
awake because I was
Whoa.
so
Yeah, I've
tired.
Smacked myself too.
And
Yeah.
like my
Oh, yeah.
partner,
Really?
Oh,
she
yeah.
was passed out in the passenger seat because she was exhausted too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just trying to get back, and I get back to the station. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like the second day.
Oh my.
And I told the boss, I'm like, I really don't care what happens right now because I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, we are out of service until I get like 6 hours of sleep.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so dangerous
Yeah.
though,
Yep.
because not only do you have to worry about yourself, you're worried about everybody else in the vehicle, such as like
Oh,
your
yeah.
partner, the patient.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy. Sometimes even the family. I don't know if you guys transport family.
Yeah. Now,
So
no,
that's-
I like that. You know, when it's like 2:00 in the morning,
Yeah.
I like to take a patient
Yeah.
family member with me because then I talk their ear off all the
Yeah.
way up there. It keeps me awake.
Yep. It's true.
You know.
Yeah.
And then,
You can only
if-
turn
if
up
you-
Seventh Day Slumber so loud, you know, you kind of stay awake. So somebody
Yeah, that
posed
was
Mariah, you might have to move that mic a little closer to you as well for when you chime in on this part.
Where is the mic even at?
It's in Mariah's hair or something.
It's not on my side. It's on her side, baby. Can you hear me okay?
I got you now, yeah.
Oh, it's right there. Okay, it's
Okay.
right there. Okay, there we go. Okay.
We mentioned a while back about rumors that you've heard about
Ooh.
yourself.
Ooh, the rumors, man. Well, let's go a step further, man. The lies. that we've heard about.
Oh, man, Canaan is.
Let's not sugarcoat this, man. These are lies, dude.
Yeah.
I have heard some
Hair whitening.
weird stuff about myself over the years.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Oh
go.
my
Let's go.
God.
I love this.
Weird stuff. And I think we alluded to this on one of the past shows
Yep.
that we were going to talk about it. There are people in Taylor
Briefly.
County that hate my guts because of lies, like Kanan said, lies that have been spread.
Mhm.
And for a while, it bothered me. It still bothers you to a point,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you just kind of get to the point
Oh,
where you're
sure.
like, you know, whatever, big deal.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing
Yeah.
I can really do about it. You can't help what people think about you.
Yeah.
John,
Absolutely.
do you want to say yours? Because you said you had a really good rumor
Well,
you'd heard about yourself.
mine was more fast acting than like I guess super good and juicy.
Fast acting,
Fast
yeah, it was
acting. Okay.
super fast acting.
like X-Lax,
What does
yo.
fast
Yeah.
acting mean for a rumor? Please
You'll
enlighten us.
understand here in just a second.
Okay.
So I was a city cop for a little while over in Webster Springs, West Virginia. Population there is like 700 people.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 9,000 people in the entire county. There's one red light in the entire county.
There's only 700 people in Webster Springs.
In the
Wow.
town, yes.
Wow.
That's small.
I didn't know that.
If that many.
That's
I
less
mean
than
that,
Philippine. I
that's
thought
that's
they
a
were-
little generous. Webster
Wow.
Springs is super small. But so I took a job as city cop. 2 weeks after I took the job, I was sleeping with every woman that worked at Go-Mart.
Now tell us what
Wait,
the rumor was.
wait. Was that a statement or the rumor?
You wait a minute, that's not true.
I'm
It
calling
wasn't
it a
the
rumor,
Go-Mart, it was
guys.
the Burger King.
We're
Call it a
leaving
rumor.
it at that.
It has been proven to be a rumor. Okay. Here we go.
So there was
dude.
rumors going around about you that you were the city cop,
Sleeping with
just
everybody
hosing
that
down
had
everybody.
Yep, that's what it was, man.
Hosing them down, buddy.
Yep, I mean,
hosing.
It wasn't at
Did
the
you
Go-Mart,
say
it was at the
hosing
Burger
them
King.
down?
I mean,
Oh, that's
did.
painful. That's
So-
painful.
my chief, the police chief, had retired. First of all, from the Navy, he put in 20 years in the Navy.
Oh my
Then
God.
he put 21 years in as a state trooper, and then he was being my police chief just part time, just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And he had no filter, and would just tell you exactly what he thought. And so we're sitting there, you know, just he's kind of showing me the ropes of things. You know, we're just sitting there, not even running radar. We're just watching traffic, and he's talking to me about stuff. You know, teaching me about your license plates, what your different types of tags mean, and all that kind of stuff. And I get this text from my wife, ex-wife.
Ex-wife.
I was gonna. Oh, dang!
That's right. Clap for me. But anyhow, I get this text, and I'm like, what? It's like, is there something you want to tell me? And I'm like,
Those are always
You know you're
good.
in trouble with her.
Oh,
Those are always good when you get those texts.
yeah.
and I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, don't think I don't know. And I'm like,
Oh no.
what? And so, like, this dude, my police chief, he probably wouldn't care if I mentioned his name, Jerry Dornberg. He's a super cool guy, I mean, a lot of people had issues with him because he was just so blunt about stuff.
Yeah.
But I liked him. He was like another father figure for me, you know. I mean, he's just a cool guy.
Daddy.
But so I would talk to him sometimes about stuff with me and my ex-wife that was, you know, either because of me being a city cop or that me being a city cop would cause issues with something at home, like you know. And I would talk to him about, be like, hey, how do you work this out?
Because he had 20 years in of law.
Yeah, he had 21 years of it. He's like, and so I'd be like, hey, how are you guys working this? And so, you know, I just kind of get some, you know, insight. And I told him, I'm like, what is this about? He's like, oh, it's going to happen, dude. He said it's bound to happen sooner or later. Like, you're going to get this kind of stuff.
That's terrible.
And so I'm like, what do you think she means by this? And he's like, he's just kind of like looking out the side window and just like, you know? And so then I was like, what are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about. She's like, the women at Go-Mart. And like, I think she named off some of their names too. I knew them all because there was only 700 people in the whole city.
And we all know
That's
there's some
not a
lookers working at
compliment.
Go-Mart.
Yeah. Go-Mart.
You know, and I'm like, what about them? She's like, oh, don't think I don't know that you're sleeping with them. I'm like, ew. What? She's like,
oh no.
She's like, yeah, I heard it from this one. Oh my goodness. I mean, she was a that was the absolute loudmouth of the entire county. Oh my goodness. She heard it from her, and I'm like, consider the source that this is coming from. And she's like, oh no, I know. And I, you know, like just going through all this stuff. So I ended up telling the chief, I told Jerry, I'm like, dude, this is what she's saying. He's like, ha! He's like rolling in the driver's seat. And he's like, and she should know better. He's like, for you to be a city cop, she should know stuff like this is going to happen because people's going to hate you.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. He's just like rolling and laughing. He's like, don't worry about it. You know? And I'm like, well, this is my wife. Like,
yeah, it's my wife. I got to live with it, yeah.
But yeah, so that was 2 weeks after I took the job. I hadn't even taken full-time status yet.
And you already had.
I was still a part-time officer at that point.
Oh my!
So that's what I mean by a fast-acting rumor.
That's fast-acting for sure.
There's the definition, Mariah. That should clear it up.
That's instant rising yeast right there.
It's one of them X-Lax.
Yeah.
Instant rising yeast.
You got that.
That's interesting.
Oh,
you got that.
Oh man, and when you're in a job like
Yeasty beasties.
Exactly. Need some nystatin powder and cream. Let's go.
Oh, jeez.
You
You had the stress of starting a new job, and then on top of that, you had your ex-wife get home and you claiming that you were just
pitiful.
tearing up the women at Go-Mart.
I was just at Go-Mart slaying the.
It was at Walmart, not Go-Mart.
So now I do have a question. Are the women of Go-Mart better looking or worse looking than the women of Walmart?
We're talking Webster County,
Yes,
so there's
okay.
you know
Webster County.
Fair.
Webster County don't have a Walmart, does it?
no.
No, I'm just being in general.
In general?
Not at all.
No, Webster County.
So Webster County has. Let me think. No. There's an IGA. There's.
What's an IGA?
It's like an
Grocery store.
Yeah, just
Grocery store. Okay.
it's an old grocery store. I mean, they've been around forever.
Okay.
But they're really small. Never have what you want, and they price gouge like crazy.
Yep.
And then
It's
you
like a
have,
shopping rob down there in town.
yeah. And then you have Family Dollar, a Dollar General, Go-Mart, and then there's two Go-Marts, 2 Dollar Generals.
2 Go-Marts in Webster Springs?
Mm-hmm. Not in Webster Springs, in the entire county.
Okay.
County.
This is the whole county. And then you have 2 small-time gas stations that have like a little convenience store. So you've got 6 stores in the entire county.
6 stores.
Wow.
Well,
Tiny
apparently you were frequenting all of them.
So I was having to get, I was having to work out and get ready to go to the police academy. And the hardest part for me has always been push-ups. So I was trying to cut a bunch of weight off so I could do push-ups. So I would go to GoMart.
Oh no!
Hey, get on that cardio,
This is actually why the rumor started. So I would go to GoMart at the beginning of my shift, and I'd get me 2 1-liter jugs of that Fiji water because I had drank Mountain Dew up to that point, you know. So I'd get me 2 1-liter jugs of Fiji because it's good water, but it's expensive.
Right.
And I would drink both of those in an 8-hour shift. Just trying to drink a bunch of water, and then I would like run and work out before shift.
Then have multiple bouts of sex.
Yes.
Sex.
Go, go, go.
But so that's where the rumor come from, was because I would go there and get water, and then I had to quit going to GoMart and buy water. My ex-wife wouldn't let me go buy water at GoMart.
Oh my!
So he had to go back to drinking Mountain Dew. But
I wasn't even allowed to go to GoMart to get me a couple bottles of water.
I think your situation was probably bad than any of the ones that we've got because you were in such a small community.
Right.
I don't know though.
Small communities can be terrible.
Yeah, it's
small
true.
community, yeah, and they had your wife believing it. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Kanan, what about you?
But I mean,
Well,
so
Rumor.
both times, the two worst rumors that me and Mariah, it's been about me and Mariah both. And so the one is I'll try to keep this a little bit shorter because it's actually a long story. But I was working with my uncle on a job, and we got to talking about this individual, and they were spreading, what it is, lies. And so he sits down on a 5-gallon bucket. And he looks at me, and I sit down on a 5-gallon bucket and look at him in the eyes, and he's like, "Can I ask you a question?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." He's like, "Can you be honest with me?" I was like, "Well, absolutely."
heck
He's
no.
like, "Yeah, I
Depends
know,
on
right?
what you're about to ask.
I'm gonna lie to you, boy."
Yeah.
No, he's like, "Do you drink?" And I was like, "Yeah." I was like, we'll have wine and stuff. Yeah. I was like, I don't get drunk, but yeah, we have the occasional, glass of wine together and stuff like that. And he's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He said, it is going around that you and your wife are forcing alcohol on this individual. And I said, forcing? Yeah. He said, it's being said that you are forcing alcohol on this individual and like making her drink.
Wow. Wait. Was she pregnant during this time?
No.
No.
Okay.
No, not yet.
Okay.
Yet. And I said, absolutely not. So I can't.
She wasn't pregnant until she came to GoMart in Webster Springs.
Come on.
Yeah, is now.
John just wants all the credit for every single baby.
I said,
Oh my God,
I
that's amazing.
text up Mariah because I'm like, I just want to make sure that I have all my ducks in a row and
Right?
there's nothing, whatever. So I text Mariah. I was like, hey, this is what's being said. Has there ever been any point in time that you have like it could have even come across as
Well,
whatever.
I mean, you know how forceful I am with things.
Yeah.
You are.
So-
Me being my little.
So I
Being
tell him,
so.
I'm like, no, that's not happening, man. Not at all, dude.
I'm not forcing
So-
alcohol on her as Kanan takes the beer bong out of her mouth.
Well,
Oh, man.
what's funny is that like later on, I mean, obviously, shoot, sorry.
So
It's all right, I got you
think
marked.
we-
Go ahead.
I think I was actually getting into that, right?
Oh,
The
were you?
Yeah, because
Okay, go ahead.
we walk outside and we kind of get that problem, resolved. And I could just kind of tell that there was still more on his mind. And so I'm like, okay, I said, is there any more you want to ask me? And he started laughing. He goes, oh man, Kanan. He's like, I don't really know if I should. Like this is getting, it's getting kind of deep. And I said, no, man. I said, if people is telling stuff about me and Mariah, I said, I'll be
Right?
honest with you. I'll be
Yeah,
honest with you.
Exactly.
So he said, okay. He said, this individual is also saying that you guys are drinking, getting drunk, and then having sex. And
Why, yes, I am.
It is a
well,
three-part process.
I am guilty on the sex part.
You are drinking
But I said,
and then having sex.
I said, no, I'm not drinking to get drunk to have sex besides, that makes them look so ignorant because if anybody knows anything about drinking,
Yes.
if you drink too much, and I'll tell you, I know this from experience back in my little wilder days, I couldn't get it up.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't get it up.
It said,
can't
Mark,
get it up.
Mark, I fail to see the problem here.
Hey, that's not the truth at all. I said, and I even told him that. I said, look, I have tried to get it up when I've had too much to drink, and it just does not work.
Well, they
You know?
said that we only did it to have good sex.
Yes.
Like,
I said, "Well, I have good
so they
sex
were
right
saying
away."
that you had to drink in order to have good sex.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, oh, trust me, honey.
Yeah.
You don't need no drinks for that.
Nope, I do just fine without it, if not better.
my thing on this one isn't that like way personal? And even if you did, because the Bible says
very personal.
that is very personal. Like, I don't understand why that's any of her business.
That's what I said. That's what I
Yes.
said. I told him that myself. I said I wouldn't. I said, why would you want to talk about this about somebody else's sex life? Like, oh my
Right.
goodness, did you hear they're drinking and having sex? It's almost like she went thinking about me drinking.
Please mark that.
Bow,
Like-
bow, bow,
like-
bow.
Well, like,
I'm
this
really
is like a running joke.
Baby. Been trying
Well,
for
honestly,
so long.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See what I mean?
I
We
know,
get
you're
on the
fine.
same wavelength during these podcasts.
Same
Nobody
wavelength.
else can hang on.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say what they did, they just made a complete fool of themselves because
Oh, yeah.
now it's a complete running joke to us.
Oh yeah.
And before when he was talking to Kanan, he was like, she made it sound like she was waterboarding her with it.
Yeah.
Like, you sit down, you take this one now.
Yeah. So now every now and then we'll be acting like crazy. We'll be like, yeah, Mariah's gonna waterboard you if you're not careful, or something crazy.
So what part of that story was like drinking while pregnant? I remembered there was something that happened with that. Do you remember?
Well, she tried to apologize. I shouldn't say she. Can you take that out?
They. Okay. So they
They
apologized.
tried to apologize and but like twisted it into like more lies and was like, well, I told you that it was so dangerous to drink while pregnant and that you shouldn't do it, and I was so worried for you. And I'm like, first of all, what are you even talking about? Because that was never even a conversation that we had. Like
Right.
that wasn't.
Yeah.
That's not a conversation that ever happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it did in their brain.
Yeah. Well, and another thing on another topic too is they always talk to us and they're always like, we have no problem with
Absolutely
drinking.
no problem.
No problem with
it.
drinking wine. We have no problem with this. We have no problem with that, and just whatever. And so we're like, okay, that's fine, whatever. But then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my, they were trying to force alcohol on us, and we're just great Christian people and don't believe we should do that. You know what I'm saying? That was really the whole.
That bothers me right there, though, because like that is 100% narcissistic behavior, manipulation.
100%.
Like,
100%.
oh
That's crazy.
my
Oh,
gosh.
they have
100%.
I have never seen such narcissistic tendencies
Yeah.
or a character that would hold that title
Yeah.
so bad as this person. Like it's on. Like I feel bad for them, honestly, because that's a terrible way to live.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it is thankful for us, because I was upfront about the drinking of the wine and stuff like that, and just being open about that.
Sure.
And of course we marinate steaks and stuff in it, so on and so forth. But another thing that really helped us out too is when there were so many other people coming forward and being like, well, I heard this about myself. I've heard this about myself. I've heard this about myself. And then people are like, wait a minute. Yeah, I've heard this about myself, and this isn't true. Dude, there was probably, what do you say, eight people probably?
Yeah.
Five to
including
eight
couples.
people. Yeah, 5 to 8 people probably coming forward saying that they've heard stuff about themselves that wasn't true.
And it always stemmed from this one person.
One person, man.
Dude,
and
that's
it went on
crazy.
it went on for like 3 years.
That's crazy.
There would be strife in our church probably once every
at least 3 months.
3 to 4 months probody. Yeah, and we would always trace it back to this one person.
We would try to like lead it back to where it began every single time.
Dude.
It led back to this one person.
The one about me was that I was over at this old lady's
Gay?
house,
I'm just kidding.
Yep.
And that I was gay. That is what I'm not a
You're gay for Canaan, like 100%. You're gay for Canaan.
We know it. It's okay. Continue.
I was over at this old lady's house, and I was.
Ew.
That was Jonathan. Giving her the
That's
bone.
Jonathan.
If she came to
That's
go Mart, I'd
Jonathan.
give her the
Sorry, go ahead.
That I was. Hold on a minute.
Old Mother
The
Hubbard.
rumor was I was over at this old lady's house, and I think I was kicking her door. Is what
Yeah.
the story
and
was.
you're cussing at
And
her.
screaming and cussing at her.
Yeah.
And,
Oh my word, dude.
The thing of it is,
I was over there talking to this
yeah.
said old lady, having a very heated discussion.
Yeah.
Witch with a B.
Yes.
But I never once did I scream at her, kick her door for gosh sakes, or cuss and throw a fit.
Yeah.
And what these people do not understand is when I'm in serious situations with stuff like this,
Right.
a lot of times I put the old phone in my pocket, I hit the voice recorder just so I can back myself up.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
Absolutely,
if
you
something
do.
ever happens, and in West Virginia, it is completely legal to do that. You don't
It
even
is.
have to tell them that they're being recorded.
Right.
nope.
And so I did that. So when this rumor would come back around to me, I'd be like, I got the recording if you want to hear it.
Yeah.
I can let you hear exactly everything that went down.
And also,
Yes.
you had a witness that was there. Your mom was there. Like, and she was able to, she was like sitting in the truck because she didn't want to cause any problems, just have Phil go get whatever it was he needed to get from this person's house. And whenever you had the conversation with her, Phil, you were so level-headed. Like, you said a few things, but it wasn't like awful. It was just like you saying, hey, wouldn't know, like how this was going on, and how it is. And like Phil was very direct. For Phil to get heated, that's a bad day because
Well, that's
Phil does
usually
not
how
get
I am
heated.
when I get
Yes.
heated. Is I usually
You're very
stay
direct. You are
fairly
very,
calm.
very direct. Because that was like another situation. I remember a rumor about you. You called up someone and cussed them out or whatever.
I remember this.
Yeah, someone wanted to use a vehicle or trailer or something like that, and they started spreading a rumor because you wouldn't let them use their vehicle that you cussed them out and everything.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
I remember that.
So and I'm like, you guys have no idea about Phil then. Like this,
I do
that
know.
is
You
not,
obviously don't know him.
no.
But it seems every rumor about me has me cussing somebody
Yeah,
out.
cussing them out. And I'm like,
Come on,
that's
Phil,
not
you old
Phil.
boy.
That is not Phil.
That's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, so those are, and here's how prevalent that rumor is. Not only is it around these parts, I talked to a guy in Ohio who was living in Ohio at the time, and I was like, you'll probably hear some things about me, that I was over punching this woman's door or whatever I was supposed to be doing and cussing and carrying on. He's like, yeah, I heard that about you. I'm like, dang it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you really that's not you at all. Which
No, no, it didn't happen.
The way I've always thought about those rumors is, of course, that was really the first one about me. Like the one I told was like the first legit rumor about myself that I'd ever encountered.
Yeah.
So of course, I tried to approach it very lightly and stuff, and try to dance it around it and everything.
Yeah.
But anymore, I'm like, if people believe that rumor about me, then obviously I don't need them around.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
See?
Yes, queen.
It's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, like honestly, that's just the way I think
No,
about it.
it's
I'm
so
like,
true.
I don't care if I lose people over that, because then obviously they weren't true friends anymore.
It's true.
It actually helps you out.
Exactly.
What
Yeah,
got me
exactly
was the rumors about myself then was used to whip other people into a frenzy,
Yes.
to where they were like, yeah, dude, let's go take care of this old boy. And I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, now
you're
getting
talking
to the
about
point.
police threats that we saw actually on Facebook, or like,
Oh, yeah.
like they're gonna kill, like hurt you really bad, and you did this to my family, so I'm gonna do this to you. Like I even have screenshots of this stuff, of them threatening you, because I didn't know
all
what was
based-
gonna happen.
all based off of a rumor. So yeah, that was that was the one of the only ones that's right at the top of my head about me.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's been others.
All right, girl. You ready for this, lover?
Get it, girl.
Go for it,
Give
babe.
us this one's fairly
All right.
recent. Give us
so,
this one.
so this one's
This is
like
a
girls.
juicy-
This is girls gone wild type.
So should I set this out because this actually started with me. So I won't say any names, but I get a phone call, and
Okay.
I'm getting ready to mow some grass, and so this person calls me and starts talking, telling me this story. So I get this phone call, and they're like, "Hey, did you? Hey," she's like, "Have you heard that Phil and Missy have Phil and Missy,
Phil and Missy,
Missy
yeah.
and Mariah, yeah, it's like that Missy and Mariah have been naked, cuddling, and have been crying."
Yes, queen.
And I'm like,
And have been crying?
and said that there was crying involved.
Oh, well, I missed that.
And I
Okay.
I said, no.
Continue.
I was like, no. I was like, this isn't true. I was like, for one, me and Phil are always
Crying.
we're always with our lady folks. Like if there's any nakedness and stuff,
Actually,
the four of
what
us
was
have been
going
involved.
on? Actually, what was going on while Missy and Mariah were cuddling naked, crying. Phil and Kane were naked, crying.
Oh, man. Dude.
I could just picture
Sucking
it.
on our thumbs.
Oh my God!
Oh, dude. Oh, my. Oh, goodness.
I actually just knocked my microphone.
You did. You were laughing so hard, your microphone got knocked over. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Dude.
Oh my
So-
gosh. Okay.
So again, I call up Mariah, and I'm like, hey, I was like, is there anything that could have even, like, maybe, like, got twisted to this?
Is there something you need to tell me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there's something. Hey, do you need to tell any truth here?
Have you been to
that's when-
Gomart?
That's where it all goes down.
So I'll turn it over to you ladies now, but that is where I messaged Mariah, and then Mariah started messaging Missy and was just like, this is what is being said. This is ridiculous.
Do like people not know that we actually communicate? Like, do
Well,
they
Yeah.
know
Like,
that
we don't talk to each other.
Listen, Mariah, before Mariah gets any further, do you guys remember when a certain individual was actually lying to both of you at the same time, not knowing that we were all out to dinner together and sharing the messages? You all remember this?
Wait.
I wasn't even there for that. Yes, we
Wait,
was
what
at
happened?
Garfield.
What was this about?
Yes, dude, you're 100% right, dude. We were at Garfield.
Yes, we was.
Yes.
Wait.
Me,
I'm
John-
not remembering
Refresh
this.
my memory on
Yeah.
So you would just have to
Let's flag it.
edit out. It was.
Oh, was it?
And what was she saying?
I don't
What was
remember.
she
I
saying?
don't remember what she was saying, but she was lying to both of you, not knowing that the five of us were out to dinner
We're
together.
all
and we
together.
were all. Yes, and you guys were reading the messages.
Yeah. You.
You think
Okay.
it
Wait.
would've been on
Didn't
Facebook?
you
No,
had
it would not.
messages, didn't you, from her like way back when? Way back when, and I confronted her. Yes, I remember this.
Yes.
So
completely
Jonathan
forgot
had
about all that.
messages from this person, and I told her, I said, "Girl," and you like it was after you guys had
What?
fought and everything. This was a while back.
Was I remember I went up to Canaan's camp. Remember went up there to meet her that one time, and like the first day I'm like, heck no, like this
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah. So and like she was sending, she sent stuff to Jonathan, and then I had messages, and I was going back and forth, and I was reading them, and I said, "Girl, I have this stuff of what you said like right in front of me. What the heck?" And she's like, "Oh, well, that's not how it was." And it was so weird. But yes, I do remember this.
What
Like,
was-
how else would you put it?
Yes.
What were
you
those
can't.
stories about? What was supposed to be going on there?
That I don't
I don't know. Do you remember what the messages were, man?
Dude, it's been so long ago now. I don't know. I think
That's been
she
a
was
few years
actually. I
back.
think if I'm not mistaken, I think she was actually lying on John, and she was lying to Missy and Mariah about it. And then Missy and Mariah were both. Both of them were like defending John and was like, "No, this isn't how it is." And then she would say something to Mariah, and then Mariah would show the message to Missy, and then Missy would show her messages to Mariah.
Yes.
And dude, yeah. And so just catching her in this big old freaking lie. and then not knowing that we all talk and hang out, and that's what Mariah was saying was, do they think that we don't talk and hang out? Like, I mean, really?
Yeah.
Goodness. So yeah.
Yeah, the
So anyway,
rumor mill was
continue.
working
Sorry,
that
I just
day.
wanted to.
I
It's
completely
okay.
forgot about that situation.
That was a long time ago. Like 5 years, 6 years.
Oh, if
Long
longer.
Weren't we
long
sitting in
time.
that end table, that big wraparound table there at Garfield's?
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Right there,
I
you
think
walk
so.
in.
I
You
remember that
remember.
Narrow,
table.
long table.
I think you had ribs, if I remember right.
Probably did.
Yeah, because
Tear me
Mariah and
up.
I
And
were
Phil,
in
you
the
had chicken
wheel.
tenders.
He always
Yep,
does.
always had them chicken
That's
tenders.
it. That's a given.
tendies.
Because I'm
I
12
know
years
it.
old.
I know
He
it.
likes them tenderloins.
Give me some chicken tendies and some juice.
Give me some chicken breast. Hold the chicken.
All right,
Okay.
so
Good
get
old
me back
Michael
to this.
Scott.
Get me back to this naked cuddling room
Okay.
right here. Let me.
Okay, so
Yes.
then Mariah, you message me.
Giggity.
We have been found.
Oh my. Oh
Oh,
my.
I'm sorry, that was too far, Marcus.
It's just so funny.
Oh,
It really
go ahead.
is. Like, it
So-
was angering at the time, but
It was. I was almost I was past it wasn't funny to me at this point yet. I was pretty ticked
Yeah.
at this
it's like,
point.
what? I mean, well, because and then they tell it to a juvenile, and it's like,
Yes.
why you tell it to a young,
okay.
you know?
A person of leadership telling an underage girl lesbian stuff. Like that
Yeah.
that bothered
Yeah.
me more than the stuff of me cuddling naked in bed with you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like my thing is like the first thing I told Kim was like, yeah, absolutely. I've gone to her in confidence about confidential things that we've been through.
Mhm.
Right.
You know, because that's what you do with a best friend.
Right.
She's my confidant. You know. I know obviously guys aren't like this, but girls are like this. Like even at camp, like when I was a teenage girl, we showered together. Girls
And I
Yes. Phil even said the same thing. He said guys in the
No,
locker room, they like walk around, strut around naked
They
and
walk
take
around
showers
naked.
together. Exactly. So
No, guys
but the
don't do
cuddling.
that.
Okay, the cuddling thing.
I'm just saying, there's nothing that we've ever done that would ever make her think that this was a true thing.
Yeah, like that,
Yeah.
that incident,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
like, no. So like,
I
me-
want to get where she got the crying part from.
well,
Me and Missy cry a lot when we're together.
I'm just picturing
They're tears
Stewie
of joy.
just rocking back and forth.
in the shower on the floor,
Yeah.
only making it
It's
worse.
It's true.
Oh my
word.
gosh. Oh.
I'm gonna laugh
So
until my
that's our
headache
best
comes
one.
back.
So-
I
That-
know mine's starting to.
I've laughed so hard.
Fun stuff.
No, but that's the only thing because, and I seriously, I have nothing to hide. And if I
No.
did say something like that, it wasn't like, yeah, so you're my secret lover, and that's why we get together and all this stupid crap. That's not even true
Well,
at
it
all.
is, but that's none of their business. I'm just kidding.
Crazy.
But
Crazy.
It's just nuts.
Some people, man, that's like it's all they got. Hold on.
I fucked that.
Let me try it again. Some people, it's
But-
like it's all they have to do. It's just
Yeah, because their own lives
Talk
are so
about everybody
boring.
else.
They don't go out and do anything. They just sit at home.
But I will say though, it seems like that they are really starting to dig themselves a hole.
Seriously, and like we talked before, Mariah, because it does make you upset, and
Absolutely,
you're thinking,
it does.
like, okay, so this is a person I talked to in confidence, and obviously, like, and we were just talking. It was nothing like personal, and if we did talk about crying, because she's cried before, I've cried before, so like, you know, it's a time that we
both
get
of you
together.
naked when the crying was happening.
No.
Phil and Cannon
That's
was.
none of your
That
business,
sucked.
Phil.
Yeah, that was.
That's a
Yes.
confidant answer.
Yeah.
So
So
None of this was true about you guys. Me and Kanan, on the other hand, is completely true.
you guys are busy and they're spooning each other. You're spooning each other. I want to be little spoon.
Ian likes to be the little.
I will
does.
say,
Why don't you stir my tea?
so I will say that when this all came to an end and I talked to this individual and was like, hey, this is not true. I trust Missy over her any day of the week. Trust my wife, so on and so forth. I said, unless you come to me and you say, I've seen this with my own two eyes 2 days
Exactly.
ago, I said, I am not going to believe a word of it because they don't. I knew that you and her don't even talk anymore. So-
she will randomly message me out of the blue. But like I've been hurt multiple times by people, and they can say whatever. But there comes a time in my life where it's not worth the effort anymore. It's not worth the peace of mind, the happiness. They're in the past for a reason. Like God removes people from your life for a reason, and if they do not bring glory to God, obviously, if they do not bring joy to my life, positivity, and help me want to be a better person, instead of like I can't talk to her because she's going to tell my personal experiences or my naked time with my best friend in the shower. You're going to share that as if it were a lesbian moment.
Yeah, none of her.
Like, I'll just say that I am thankful that even just in the last 6 months for the people that God has taken out of my life for my benefit.
Oh, so true.
Occasionally.
So true.
So talking about somebody being in a place of leadership and you go into them, in confidence. So I had that happen in my last marriage. Mm-hmm. I went to our pastor's house at the time, and he wasn't there, but his wife was, and they were both kind of. We wouldn't have to go, Mark Keenum. We wouldn't have to go, Mark.
She was at the go, Mark.
You had to go, Mark.
Had to get some cigarettes.
But I went up there and.
Sorry, John. Continue.
My ex-wife and I have been fighting, which was normal, and
that was an everyday thing. What are you talking about?
So I went up there and was just like talking to her, and then he ended up coming home from work and kind of beating me up, running me out of the house, and
He said, "Get out of here, boy! This ain't no gas station."
No push-ups in
if you're
here.
gonna do this kind of vile behavior, you do it down at the Gomar.
Take them push-ups somewhere else, boy.
Don't you be refilling your tank over here.
But so I ended up talking to them, about my marital problems. Well, they ended up going to a women's retreat, and my ex-mother-in-law went to this women's retreat. The pastor's wife brings up our marital issues.
Oh no!
During a Bible study with the rest of the women.
Oh no!
Oh my!
And they're like, I just told them, that they just needed to suck it up because they're going to fight and you're going to have issues and all this. And that's not how that's supposed to go.
Yeah.
Like
no, not at all.
Absolutely not.
That is so inappropriate. So
It is
inappropriate.
very unprofessional as a pastor's wife.
Oh my!
As Annie's wife.
I've had something like that happen to me one time. I had confided in a pastor about I was having trouble with a certain belief, how we were raised. Well, next thing I know, they're up saying in church, calling out my name.
Yeah.
Phil over here, he's told me that he had some issues with this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
No way.
Yeah.
And then, and to be clear about it, it was the doctrine of sanctification. I don't want you to think I was like raping people or something.
No, he really wanted a second wife, is what it was.
Oh man!
I've really been struggling with
sense
polygamy,
now.
Pastor.
Yeah. So I tell this guy this. He gets up, tells about it to the whole crowd. And what do you think then? The preacher that's preaching that morning, what do you think he preaches on?
He just switched gears, man.
He just, dude, I watched him just reach down and just grab another gear.
He grabbed another sermon out of his briefcase.
Down in Grant Mall.
Oh, dude,
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness.
that's funny. That's funny.
When stories like this go around about you, though,
And
the
it's
best
funny.
way to handle them is to laugh at them.
Yes, and that's
Oh,
why
it
I
really
told
Funny now.
It's
Mariah,
funny
yeah,
now.
like you don't owe anybody anything. Like
No.
you don't owe this person an explanation, because if they really cared about you, they would not be saying this stuff to someone else. They would be like, "Hey,
Especially a minor.
Rumors go around about your big deal.
Yes,
so
they do.
yes,
Rumor has
So-
it.
Fun stuff.
rumor has it, bump bump."
We just happen to be lucky enough that we have a platform that we can address them on.
Yeah.
Most people just have
Yeah,
to
we
live with it.
can.
Yes.
We can have fun.
So we want to hear your
Yes.
rumors about you. Send them in to us. We'll laugh at them.
Yeah,
Yes,
send in some
please.
rumors.
Yes. We'll announce it in the next podcast.
Yeah.
Do.
Yeah,
Yep, send them in. You can send them to Hillbilly Broadcast at AOL.com.
Yep.
You can go to anchor.fm,
/Phil Sparks.
leave a voice message.
Become a contributor.
Yes, if you would like to do so.
If you'd like to keep it anonymous, you can keep it anonymous.
Yeah,
can
we'll keep anything anonymous
We'll just
that you
read
want.
it on air for you or whatever.
And then we'll just be reading first, last name, says such and such.
Then
And
we'll
you
have
also-
someone say from the pulpit.
Yes.
And you can also send them to Hillbilly Broadcast on Facebook or any of our personal
Yep.
messenger accounts.
Absolutely.
Facebook's probably the easiest way because that's where
Yeah, everybody's got Facebook.
everybody is.
So send it in your rumors. I want to laugh.
Yes.
We
Yes,
want to make
I
fun
do.
of you.
Anonymously.
Oh.
All right, I guess that about wraps up for Stephen. Everybody miss anything to
No,
close
we're
it down? John, you good?
Yeah.
Good now.
Kana, Mariah, anything other than the juicy
think we're
details
good.
you've already gave us?
I know,
All
right? I
that
think we're
juicy
good.
information.
Juicy goss. So
Can't wait.
if you want to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us there. I'm sure it looks like after our show at Lurch Fest, there'll be more shows coming up.
Yep.
Hopefully we can get Kanan involved in some of that stuff too, if we can get the
Yes.
schedules lined up. So you can get a hold of us if you want us to play anything there. And at some point coming up, we're going to be doing podcasts live from some locations too. So
Yep.
hopefully
That'd be a lot
hopefully
of
that'll
fun.
be a thing. All right. Well, that'll do it for this evening, and we'll catch you next time on Hillbilly Broadcast. Love you.
Avida Zane.
What did you say? Avita Singh?
Arrivederci.
Arrivederci.
Would you like to be on Hillbilly Broadcast? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? If you find yourself in that category of people, please feel free to go to anchor.fm/Phil Sparks and send us a voice message, and we will play it on the show. You say, I'm more of an email guy or gal. Don't worry, we got you covered. Send an email to hillbillybroadcast@aol.com. You say, I don't like either of those options. I'm a Facebook-only individual. That's fine. Look us up on Facebook at Hillbilly Broadcast and send us something on Messenger. Well, you ask, Phil, what if I want to go the extra mile and I want to support you all? Well, I'm glad you asked that question because that is very, very easy. Go back to the first website I told you about, anchor.fm/Phil Sparks, and you can support us on a monthly basis if you so choose. We love our audience, we love audience interaction, and we will read your messages or play them on the air.